Just a minute. There, that's better. Hello. For those who don't know me, my name is Edwolf. And with Christmas fast approaching, you could be forgiven for mistaking me for Santa Claus. And by coincidence, that's what I want to talk to you about today. To begin with, there is just one more week before Santa Claus comes down your chimney. And having said that, I'd like to tell you all a story of how Santa Claus came to be. To begin with, contrary to popular myth, the origins of Santa Claus go back to not the frozen north, but the warm, sunny Mediterranean. In this case, what is now Turkey, in the 4th century. Known in those days as Saint Nicholas, he was a Greek Orthodox bishop who was renowned for giving gifts. He was born in 270 AD, and in his lifetime, not only he promoted Christianity by giving gifts, but also became the patron saint of children. For example, he rescued 3 boys from being slaughtered during a famine. And on another occasion, there was a poor man, a friend of his, who had 3 daughters, and they couldn't afford a dowry. To solve this problem, Saint Nicholas would throw bags of gold through an open window and into their house in the middle of the night. Well, sometimes he'd do this, although the rest of the time he would drop them down the chimney. Hence the legend of Santa Claus coming down the chimney to put gifts in your stocking from that day to this. Anyway, moving on. The name Santa Claus, as we recognise it today, came from Sinterklaas, which is the Dutch nickname for Saint Nicholas. And from that day to this, the Dutch continue to recognise him as Sinterklaas. If any of you are from the Netherlands and you are watching this, do feel free to correct me if you think I'm wrong. Or perhaps you'd like to tell us more about Sinterklaas as you recognise him. Anyway, moving on, the modern image of Santa was yet to come. In 1822, Clement Clark Moore, a New York professor of Greek and Oriental literature, wrote his famous poem, The Night Before Christmas. while he was at it, he also instigated the legend of flying reindeer pulling a sleigh. He introduced 8 of these creatures, each with its own name. Rudolph was unheard of until over 100 years later, in 1939. But that's another story. "45 years had passed, and in 1867, another New Yorker, this time a German-born cartoonist by the name of Thomas Nast, had turned Santa from a jolly, dimpled elf, as depicted by Clement Clark Moore, and, like I say, turned him into a tall, grand, rotund gentleman. Very much like me, don't you think? Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, yes. Not only that, but Mr. Nast had depicted Santa originally wearing a brown suit, but by accident this turned from brown to red, predating the famous Coca-Cola advertising campaign by over 60 years. Well, I hope you find this video both fascinating and informative. And unless I see you all again, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. See you soon.